Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. In this video, I'm looking at the Breakdance page builder, specifically its theme builder and the ability to create templates for custom post types. Breakdance is new. Version 1 came out in September 2022, and it's touted to be easier to use than Elementor. So not only will I be looking at how to create theme templates, I'll also be considering how intuitive it is for me to use. If you like the video, please subscribe. It helps to spread the word about the channel. This is the Breakdance website. As you can see from this banner at the top, they have a new 1.3 alpha available, but I decided not to use the alpha for the video. If I ran into any issues, I didn't want it to be because I was using an alpha version. If we take a look at the pricing, there's a limited free version, and then currently Pro is $149 a year. They say they're going to raise the price to $349. I have a testing site here. I have advanced custom fields and custom post type UI. I used to create this books custom post type. I also have a number of posts, kind of some demo data there. I have WP Reset, which I use to reset the site between testing cycles, and then Breakdance. When you install and activate Breakdance, you are prompted to disable the theme. That's kind of the recommended route. You can use it with a theme, but I went along with the prompt and disabled the theme. And when you do that, then it tells you this. If you go to the theming area, it says, hey, you've disabled the theme. The active theme won't be loaded. So with Breakdance, you get this new menu item here. Let's go take a look at the settings. Here are links to the user community, video tutorial support, and documentation. This is the template page. You see, I don't have any templates yet. Here are headers and footers. Often headers and footers are included in templates, but Breakdance has given them separate pages. Global blocks. So you can create some blocks that you reuse. This is for pop-ups. I don't have any of those either. Form submissions and design library and settings. Let's take a look at design library. So these are the designs that come, kind of the template library. Fitness zone, security, auto repair, car wash, architecture, cleaning, plumbing, dental, beauty salon, real estate, electrician, law firm, and marketing agency. These aren't really that exciting to me. In fact, I'm a little bit let down because I like the pre-designed templates that come with Oxygen. Oops, let me go back here. Breakdance is made by SoFly, the same company that makes Oxygen, and Breakdance is kind of their second generation page builder. Oxygen's still going strong, but Breakdance is the new kid on the block, and is where they're putting a lot of their attention. So when you hover over one of these templates, you can import it or you can do a live preview. This is the live preview. That's a design library, and there's more to come that we'll see when we get into Breakdance. Then there's settings area. So this is where you enter your license, which I've already done. Global styles. So let's go look and see what that is. So we have global settings, browse history, colors. Okay, and we can edit the palette, button, primary, secondary, typography, heading, body, base size, ratio, advanced presets, forms, containers, code. So, here you can add your style sheet, transition duration. I wonder if you're able to edit the style sheet while you're in the regular editor while you're working, or is this is the only place you can edit it. But anyway, okay, here are global styles. This is the theme page. You see I disabled the theme, which is a recommended action. But if you want to use Breakdance with a theme, you can do that. Here's WooCommerce area. I don't have WooCommerce installed, so I'll disable this. You have user access. So this is the roles that you can grant access to use Breakdance. Breakdance comes with a maintenance mode feature, which is nice. You can select a page to be what shows to users who aren't logged in. Then here are some performance tweaks. You can disable Gutenberg CSS if you're not going to use Gutenberg. You can disable XML RPC pingbacks. Always a good idea if you're not using XML RPC. Disable emojis, disable dash icons on the front. embed, I might use this if I was going to embed a YouTube video or something. Really simple discovery feature we can disable. Windows Live Writer link. REST API is used by a lot of plugins, so I'll leave that on. We can disable the WP generator. We can disable relational links in the RSS feed. Okay, here's API keys, for reCAPTCHA and different third parties if you're going to integrate those into the site. Post types, these are the post types you're going to allow. So I'll say page and book. Advanced options. Apply the content filter to Breakdance content. You might need to do this, I think, to work with some third-party plugins. So it has this option to enable using the content filter on the content that you create with Breakdance. Here's a privacy menu item. Can disable cookies. Here's the design library. And this is for actually either using this site to host designs or linking to other sites that are sharing designs so that you can import those when you're working with Breakdance. This is where you would add custom code. And here are some extra goodies. You can regenerate your CSS, do a soft reset, a total reset. You can create the directories that are required for Breakdance. This little utility, you can replace an old URL with a new one. Again, useful if you migrate the site. You can export your settings or import settings. Okay, so those are the settings and options for Breakdance. So let's start thinking about creating some templates. Before we do that, let's look at the front end of the site to see what it looks like by default. As I said, I've got some demo posts here, and we can see that this is, even though it says there are no templates, this is kind of an implicit template that exists so that you see something. And if you go look at a single, this is what it has kind of implicitly for a single post. I'm not going to complain. I think that's a nicer way to start than just giving the user something totally blank. What we also see here, though, is that we don't have any header or footer. Okay, so I really want to focus on the custom post types on books, but it looks like maybe we should create some minimal header and footer first. So let's go back to the back end, to the admin, and go to Breakdance headers. Okay, let's add one, and we'll just apply it to everywhere. You could have multiple headers if you want, but we'll just do everywhere. You can add them, you can have more than one condition. You can give them priorities. If you have two headers, maybe you'd want one to have a higher priority. So I'm going to click Add Header. And looks like here, these are the settings that we just set. We can trash it. Here, if we want to go and edit it, we would go here. So here we are in the Breakdance editor now. Here it tells us what we're editing. This is the post that we're going to have in the preview, which is okay. This is the device size, undo and redo. Here it shows our stack of elements that we have selected on the page. Here is what Lewis of the Breakdance team calls the ... menu, which I've also heard called the kebab menu or hot dog menu. And here you can jump to global settings, selectors, history, preferences, or Element Studio, which is in alpha. You can save or you can close. When you click here to close, you get the option to exit to the front of the site or to the admin. If I click here plus, I think that's going to be the same as clicking add. And now we see there is a long list of elements we can add to the page. Section is kind of the container. Then I guess you have columns or div. Then your standard things like heading, text, link, button, image, video, icon. Okay, and then lots of different types of blocks that you can add to your canvas to create your page. So pretty big selection here, especially for a new builder. In addition to all these, there's also site ones, header builder, menu builder, and search form. And then advanced, we have content toggle, fancy container, wrapper link, code block, advanced tabs, advanced slider, global block. We saw something about that out on the admin menus. Shortcode wrapper, HTML image. Then we have dynamic. We have content form, comments list, post meta, title, excerpt, content, featured image. Okay, so these are kind of your placeholders for dynamic content. And then forms. Breakdance has a form builder built in, so you can use it for a login form, for a contact form. That's a nice feature of Breakdance. Okay, but actually what I'm kind of interested in, since we want to have a quick start, is are there any headers in the library that we can pull in? Remember when we were looking at the pre-designed pages, and I said there was more pre-designed content coming. That's what we have here. We have different pre-designed sections or blocks that are organized here by category. Let's go here, headers. So these are the headers they have available. They've got several different ones here. I think I'm looking just for site name or logo and a menu. That would suit me. Let's try taking this one. That was easy. Now let's see if we can add a menu to this. I think there is a WordPress menu option here. Okay. Yep, there are the menus, so that's good. And then we can trash this one. Seems I got a lot of extra space thrown in there. Spacing, here we go. Margin top. This div doesn't really need any. This is the div, right? Yep. Header builder, let's go into this. Okay, and check the spacing for that. It's got 20 pixels at the top and bottom. Let's say 10. Even 10 seems like a lot here. Be nice if we could kind of see the padding here, that we knew what was what. Anyway, though, let's go and edit this heading. Change this to say Breakdance testing. This is an image, so I'd be fine trashing this. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. Guess we don't really want it to be in H1, do we? So let's go to the design tab. Yeah, okay, so this is the, I don't know, kind of basics tab or whatever, and then this is the design tab, and this is advanced. So let's start by changing, we don't have any option to not have that be a tag. That's kind of a little, oh, it's a heading, okay. Let's start over here and let's add just a text element. Okay, and we'll just say breakdance testing. Let's try to rim and see what happens. Doesn't look like it. Oops, that's the width. I thought it was on size. Let me change this then to pixels and then let's go to size. So size is width. Okay, I guess I have to go to typography, font size. So I'll go there, font weight. All right, that's just what we're doing on header now. And I'm still not sure why gap is that. I would think that would be left and right. Okay, that doesn't make any difference here. Let's save this. In theory, we've got a header. Let's go view it on the front end. All right, so all that space, that's just a weird thing there then in the editor. Let's see, this goes to books, which is our custom post type. That's the same layout kind of archive layout we had on the home page. And then this goes back to home. Okay, let's go do the footer now. Add footer, site footer, everywhere. We'll add it. And then edit and breakdance. All right, I guess I'm going to go safe. I'm going to add section, and then in the section, I'm going to add a div, then layout for the div. We'll align center. Actually, I think I'm going to align it center. Probably need to go up one. There we go. Okay, then on the div, let's find our width. So we don't have max width there. So I'm not really sure what to put in there. Let's say 80%, I guess. And then let's add our copyright, put in a text, and site title. Let's try site title. Here's a little database icon. ACF book fields, post fields, featured image, archive, site info, site title. Site title, append, space, ampersand, copy, semicolon. Then we want to enter the year. How do we do that here? Is there something I can do to enter some dynamic data here? I don't know. I have to read the documentation for that. Just going to switch over here. Let's just see what they've got in the way of documentation. Okay, these look, so basically we have a bunch of videos which aren't bad. Oh, here's documentation. Videos are good. Installing, what theme to use, sections and columns, troubleshooting, developer APIs. All right, so documentation is a little thin, though they do have a number of videos. All right, so let's go back to our footer. I've got my copyright sign there, but I don't know how to add in another dynamic data inline there. Let's see if I can, maybe I can just add another text element. It's going to stack them. Let's do space. Look at these dynamic data options. Here's current date. Okay, so format, we just want the year. I guess we'll do custom Y. Yep, that worked, but now they're stacked. And let's see if we can go to the div and make these. So we have align, center, middle, horizontal align. All right, that works. So let's save that. Looks like I need an extra space there. It took away my space. So let's go advanced, prepend, and add a space. All right, let's go out of that, go to the front end. And there we go. All right, so we've got a header and footer. Now let's go and add some templates for our custom post types. Let's go back to the admin and go to Breakdance Templates. Add template. Add custom template, I guess. Please read the documentation before creating custom templates. Installing what theme to use, section, column. Troubleshooting security. Okay, so there's nothing in here other security. Okay, there's nothing in here about creating templates, but that's okay. You may remember that I mentioned in the introduction that I wanted to see how intuitive Breakdance was for me. You may have picked up already, I haven't watched a lot of videos or read a lot of documentation. I'm trying to see, if it's just can figure it out as you go along, because that's what a lot of people do with Elementor and other quote-unquote easy-to-use page builders. We've been warned we might screw up here. So a new template, we'll call this book archive, and we want to apply it to post type archive, and then maybe we have to add another condition. Post type is books. Add template. We've got some kind of, it tells us there. That's nice when you hover over it. Okay, let's edit in Breakdance. Here's our header and footer. Let's do add. This is like Elementor. You start with a section. All right, and so we've got our section. Then next, I guess we want to add like a post grid or something. This is for books. Let me show you the custom post type books that we're creating this archive for. So we have 12 book records here. And if we look at one, here's the title, the content. Over here we have the custom taxonomy, and the featured image is the book cover. Then we have 2 ACF custom fields, link URL field, link to the author's website, and an image field, the author's photo. Okay, going back now to the theme builder template area, I think we want to add like a post grid. Let's look here. Post loop builder. All right. Choose a global block from the drop down. We haven't made any global blocks yet. This kind of tells me, let's delete this. And is there any kind of grid, stats grid? Okay, so I think maybe we're going to save and go and create a global block. Exit to WordPress and go to global blocks. Add global block, and we'll call this book record. So this is kind of like Crocoblock to their loop builder, I'm guessing, where you create a single one, and that's kind of the model, and then include that when you're doing your grid builder. So we'll try that. We're going to add a section. Actually, I wonder if we need to. Let's try adding just the columns. So I'm going to put the featured image there. What have we got? We've got image box, post featured image. So I'm going to add that. That's the author's photo. So that's kind of odd. It says post featured image. Hovering, moving over here, I don't see a database icon. What's over here? Advanced, some custom CSS. Hide on breakpoint, conditions, animations. Ooh, previewing attachment. Scottaline photo. So that's kind of odd. Why would that be the default? I think we want to preview a book record. Okay, there's our featured image. We will margin top, margin bottom. Let's go to column and align center. Okay. Over here, then we want to add our heading. And here is the database icon, author's photo, post, title. And we want it to be, this is going to be in the archive, so we'll say H2. Okay, then next, there's not another plus sign here. So let's go add, say, a text. Okay, and database icon. We want excerpt. Okay, and then we want to, let's go column, add, and we want to add a button for read more, text, read more, and then a link. I want it to open in a new tab. Here we go, post permalink. Okay, that looks good. So how are we looking there? Let's just save this and go back to our archive template and include it and see what we get so far. Add, and what was it? Post loop builder. Choose a global block. Book record. Yippee, we're working. Okay, we got a problem. Featured images are different sizes, but otherwise we're not doing too bad. Let's fix that. So let's save. And be kind of nice if we could, it's kind of the disadvantage of editing one record separately, is you can't really see while you're going. But I have an idea what the featured image size should be, so I'm going to see if I can just jump to global blocks. All right, here's the post-featured image and design, I guess. So the width, I think we want maybe 180 and the height 260. Does that look good? Yeah. While I'm here, let's make this go that way. And one test, which looks like this is obviously going to pass, but one test I've done before is try to add some custom fields into the archive, because some archives are not very flexible and you can't do that. I think I'm going to be able to do that here, but let's just try it. I'm going to go to column. Let's try adding some columns inside of that. Maybe this one. Okay, and move this button over. And then here I want to add an image. Okay, and this image, gotta hover over this, it shows. This image, we want the author's photo. Okay, and we want the author's photo. Let's set the height and width to something kind of smaller, like say 75 pixels. All right, not going to win any design awards, but it's working. So let's save this. Go back to our template. Actually, maybe we could just go to the front end. Do you think it's just going to work? Well, let's go and look at the template. Edit and Breakdance. All right, that looks pretty good. Let's post loop builder. I'm just wondering if we can zebra stripe this with doing minimal effort. Let the layout, space between items, background, container. Oh, pagination and the number. Yep. We should do that. So we want a list layout, which is I think what we have here, right? We could have grid or slider. We want container, background. Where do we say how many records? Oh, I see them in design. So with the query, oh, we want pagination. Let's go previous next. And then let's go to query custom, I guess. Pagination with custom queries and archives isn't supported. Where do we say how many? Section is good here. But where do we say how many post type equals post? I think I'm missing something here. Let's go advanced. Custom CSS. Nope. These are styling options. All right, so what's my query condition? So do we put a comma or post per page equals, let's do 4, semicolon. Pagination with custom queries, but this is a text query. All right, I give up. This is obviously going to be something that need the documentation for. And we lost our book archive thing. Post type equals post. No. All right, so this is screwed up, and I guess it's going to be book. But I don't know how to get back to whatever the default was. This does not have all 12. So let's see, can we go to infinite scroll? Not sure. I'm going to save this and go to the front end. We have 12 records. Let's see what we get. Go to the front end. Let's go home. And now books. So it's looking okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 records and no way to get the other ones. Okay, so this one's going to require some look at a video. So I'm going to pause the recording and go watch a video or search for the answer. Okay, I did find a video called Post Loop Builder. And I think it's telling us maybe what my problem is here. Let's see. I think it's that I'm using an archive, and it said that pagination wasn't available, custom query in an archive. Is that the error? Let's see. Pagination with custom queries in archives isn't supported. Okay, so I'm going to delete this, and let's add that back in again. Post loop builder, and choose book record. Okay, and let's go pagination. So I'm going to save. All right, but now let's go to the front end and just make sure we're looking good. Okay, next. And there are the rest of the records. All right, so our archive is good. Now we need to do the single template. And this is what we have by default. So can use some work. And let's go back to Breakdance templates. click Add, Custom Template, Book Single, Apply Template to Single Books. Okay, and now Edit and Breakdance. Okay, we see it is previewing a book, so that's good. Let's start by adding a section. Now, I'm just curious, can I add my global block here? Because I can use the same layout. So let's see, global block, choose it, record. This is the global block, and I can't really edit individual items here. I guess I could go edit global block. Let's do that. I'm feeling a little lazy here. And all right, so here we are looking at the global block. Let's go to the structure panel. This is the kind of outer column. That's going to duplicate it. Can I copy it? Drag, paste, paste design, save as global block. Oh, copy. Here we do. So I'm going to copy this. And now let's close this. And let's go to our single template. I'm going to remove that global block. And I'm going to paste. Awesome. That saved me some time. Okay, this is not the excerpt. This is going to be now the post content. I'm going to go here and let's add a button. And I'll say visit author's website, and our link will be author's website book field, and we'll add some margin to the top. Then I'm going to copy this image right there, and let's give that some margin top. Okay, and then let's move this button and delete those columns. So let's save that and go to front end. This is the book single. Let's go to the archive. Let's look at another record. I shouldn't have the read more button on there. Go back. Okay, I don't need the read more button, I guess, actually. But you know what might be nice is to have post meta. Let's go add, I think I saw something like meta, post meta. Great. And you know, I really like it when we have elements or blocks for post meta. Makes life a lot easier. So this is going to be terms. The taxonomy is genres. Check browser console, validation error. Legal thriller, okay. Choose an icon for genre. What's that going to be? What's a category? Oh, tag is I think what people often use. Icon library tag isn't one. Maybe I need to click all icons. Let's see. Upload. Search. So I can add one, but I don't have any yet. Wonder if I need to enable an icon library. I'm just going to save this for a moment and try something a little crazy. I just want to see if there is an icon library available. Icon. Check browser console for debug information. So I guess that's what that was related to. Not going to be able to get into it from here. So we'll have to see what that error is. Gonna delete that. Save. Let's go to front end. And now we can look at developer tools. Yeah, I can't really see it here. Okay, I am on localhost, so maybe there's something there where it can't access it. In general, though, this looks pretty good. Here's the archive. And let's try going to the author's website. Is that working? Yep. So in general, other than this little hiccup here, creating the single template for the custom post type was real easy because I just copied the items from the global block. So that was nice that we could do that. Okay, so I looked in the Facebook group for Breakdance, and there are actually several people who had similar issues with the icons. One of the suggestions was to do a soft reset, which resets your preference and icon sets to factory defaults. So I did that. And if we go back to templates now and edit the book single, and let's edit the post meta, go to this terms one, click on icon, and here we see them now. Tag. We'll do, I guess, this one. All right, and save. So I'm glad I was able to find that solution easily, and I didn't want to leave you with an issue open. Here it is on the front end. So we have our single, which was pretty easy because I could just copy from the global block the layout and then tweak it. And we also have the archive. Done the walkthrough portion of the video. Now let's have some discussion and conclusions. This is the first time I've worked with Breakdance. Before starting, I did watch the video Newbie Building a Complex Website in 15 Minutes. And I looked at the settings and played around in the editor for about half an hour. I've used other page builders, so getting around wasn't difficult, but I did run into 5 issues that we saw in the video. One, when creating the header and footer, there was a lot of space shown in the editor at the top and bottom that didn't show on the front end. And I wasted some time on that, looking around to see how I could eliminate that extra space, which turned out not to be an issue. 2, the preview at first defaulted to the image media attachment. It took a little bit to figure out that I needed to switch to look at a single book record. Not a big deal, but it's kind of an odd default first choice. 3, since you don't see the single loop item and the output of the post loop query at the same time, then there's some back and forth trial and error to get the layout and styling right when using the post loop builder. For me, the featured images were not the same size, and the spacing between the columns needed to be adjusted, but you don't see that when creating the single loop item. 4, when creating the book archive, I didn't know that there were some limitations on the query pagination for an archive type template. And once I clicked on custom, I didn't see how to revert back to the default until I deleted the post loop builder and started over. 5, the icon library didn't load until I went and clicked the soft reset button. None of those issues are too serious for me, but they may have been more frustrating for a newbie or a client who wasn't familiar with WordPress or page builders. But remember that Breakdance is still pretty new, so right now each new update is significantly better than the previous version. I liked that Breakdance has a block for post meta. You'd be surprised how many builders forget this, and you end up needing to piece it together manually. But it's a nice convenience. I also like that when you clicked on the database icon for dynamic data, that you saw a page with the options all nicely organized. A number of builders, including Elementor, only show the fields in a long list in a drop-down. It's definitely easier to pick from the pop-up page. Should you ditch Elementor and use Breakdance? That's a question that some people are asking. Well, Elementor has its experiments, which is how they're updating to be more performant. But it seems like those experiments are really slow in graduating and becoming defaults. The Breakdance front-end output is more performant out of the box. In terms of custom field plugins and dynamic data, natively Elementor supports ACF pods and toolset, but does not support advanced display conditions or advanced field types. Breakdance, on the other hand, supports ACF metabox and toolset, has advanced display conditions built in, as well as support for advanced field types like repeaters. So I'd say in terms of working with dynamic data, out of the box, Breakdance natively has more extensive support. Now, Elementor does have a large number of third-party add-ons that offer a wide range of widgets, like image hotspots, and support for even more dynamic data options. So for complex sites, Breakdance might not be mature enough yet. The current pricing for Breakdance is more attractive than Elementor's, but when Breakdance raises their pricing, then that might not be the case and it might not be as appealing. If we put aside the issues I ran into, then overall it seemed like Breakdance would be at least as easy, and maybe even easier for a newbie or client to use as Elementor. Of course, there are other options besides Elementor, like Bricks, other page builders, or Gutenberg-based solutions. But considering how new it is, Breakdance is pretty far along. People who find Bricks too complex or don't like Gutenberg may find that Breakdance has a lot of power with a relatively easy-to-use user interface. So that's my walkthrough and look at the new Breakdance page builder. There's a summary available on the WebTNG website along with other walkthroughs, reviews, and resources. Hope you found this video interesting. Thank you for watching.